Hello guys, happy new year and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about all of the currencies in the game. I'm gonna first go through the main ones. I'm gonna tell you everything about them, how you get them and how you can spend them, or what's the best way to spend them. And then I'm gonna go again and do the same thing with the side currencies. So let's start with the shillings. This is a very important one because it allows you to do a lot of things in the game, very many day-to-day kind of things. Shillings, where you get them is from the cube dungeon. The dungeon that you do with shillion orders. The better the tier of the cube dungeon, the more shillings you get from it. You can also get shillings from these kinds of merchants, gold store translated. There is two boxes here, one of them that costs 100 gold and it gives you 10,000 shillings, and the other one that costs 1,000 gold and gives you 100,000 shillings. Everything you kill in game also gives you shillings, but it doesn't give you such a large amount that it's worth talking about it in a video. The two places are the cube dungeon and then this exchange right here. These are the bread and butter places for you to get shillings. There's a lot of things you can do with shillings, from buying crafting supplies to buying chaos shards so you can use your awakening skill, to buying regular potions that you can use in chaos dungeons, for example. Rerolling your stats on your gear costs shillings. Rerolling the polish effects on your gear, that also costs shillings. Equipping runes on your character also costs shillings, and changing them also the same thing. Also rerolling the effects on your ability stone, this also costs shillings. Everything basically costs shillings. A couple of interesting combat goods like beginner bombs and emergency aids and beginner shurikens, these things also cost shillings. Teleportation, even if you use the teleportation from the premium membership, this one also costs shilling. Going with a boat on the sea, like with the NPC boat, also costs shilling. Repairing your own boat on the sea. How many shillings makes you rich? I would say anywhere around 5 million mark. That makes you have enough for kinda everything that you would wanna do in the game up until, I don't know, item level 520. I think 5 million is a good number. Lastly, I want to mention that shillings are a character bound currency, not account bound. So every single class that you play has to farm their own currency. Reason why it's important for those of you who are new to the game to try out Lost Ark now here in Russia. I have a video in the description below, and find what class is the best for you so that you would know in the Western release, and just start with a class, get that pimped up, farm things on that, and then just make alts because they're alts, not make alts because you don't know what class is gonna be your main. Yeah. Next currency is crystal. This one is something that you get by depositing real money in the cash shop. First you get these white orange crystals, and then from these ones you can exchange them for blue crystal. Another place to get blue crystal is from these inherited power, the account level rewards. Occasionally at specific stages they do give you a little bit of them. However, the only reliable way to get blue crystals is either you deposit your own money and buy them from the cash shop, or you can click this button, auction house, and you buy crystal from here by using your gold that you might have farmed in game. These two ways are the only two ways to get blue crystal in a reliable way. You can do again a lot of things with blue crystal. You can open slots here for your skill presets. You can purchase feathers of resurrection, which allow you to resurrect inside the game. You can even resurrect with blue crystals at a price of 10 blue crystals. You can resurrect inside the game as you die. Other things that you can do with blue crystal is to purchase a lot of things from the cash shop, including everything that's in the Mari's secret shop, which are quite important things. Blue crystal allows you to do that as well. There are some regular items in the cash shop as well that cost blue crystal, even some skins. You can buy them with blue crystal. And who can forget that with blue crystal you can also instantly complete your daily quests. Crystal is a currency that is account shared, so regardless of what class you've deposited on, or regardless of what class you've sold that gold on, you will still have crystal for all of your characters to use. Next one in line is gold. Gold is again another currency that is account bound. All of the classes that you have on your account contribute to the amount of gold that you have here. Reason why alts in Lost Ark and playing the game more and spending time on different other classes and making gold on those as well is a huge asset, obviously, as you can imagine. You farm gold with 5 characters and then you sell it for crystal, and then with crystal on your main you buy stuff that costs crystal in the cash shop. A thing that some people that have a lot of playing time every day do. Gold is something that you either get again from the auction house by selling these diamonds right here. It costs 80 diamonds in order for you to get 1620 gold at the exchange rate today. Another way to get gold is a lot of things in game. The best way to get gold is doing the cube dungeon or crafting and selling stuff on the broker. Everything on the broker, on the auction house in Lost Ark, costs gold, and you get gold by selling things there. So realistically you have 2 choices in Lost Ark. Either you do the cube dungeon with your Shilling tickets right here and then you get gold by reaching a high stage of that, or if you like to craft more, or if you think it's worth it more for you to craft and sell things on the broker because you are a crafter, you do that, you know how to do that, and the prices are good at that time on the broker, then definitely crafting things and selling them here is also a great way of making gold. Crafting things require you to gather materials. The best way to gather materials is to spend Shilling orders, again on the Shilling board, and do the platinum fields. Depending on your profession, whichever profession you might have, leveling 1 up is the best idea, because after you've consumed a lot of skill points in it, you need to consume even more in order to get these masteries which actually make the profession worth it in terms of money. These masteries right here, for most of the professions, basically make you have the best time in getting gold from your profession. Without them, you're gonna feel that, really, am I really getting enough out of all the hard work that I've put in it? But you have to do the masteries as well. So these are the ways of getting gold reliably. There's of course other ways. Some dungeons, you know, drop you a gold or 2 there. There's some secret dungeons that you open up with these maps from your bag. These also have a chance of dropping you 5 to 10 gold. But we're talking about reliable, good ways of making a lot of gold, and these 2 that I've mentioned, selling things on the broker or doing the cube or exchanging real money with gold. These are the ways of getting gold. What you can do with gold, obviously you can buy everything from the broker. As you can sell it, the same way you can buy the things that you're interested in. Other things that gold is useful for is obviously exchanging your gold with blue crystal, which later on you can buy stuff from the cash shop. Another thing that you do with gold is get the chance to bid on things that drop from world bosses. If you do a world boss in Lost Ark, then at the end of it, everyone that was in the alliance which killed it gets to bid. It is how it is. If you have gold after you finish the world boss, you get to bid as much as you want for things that world bosses drop. Some things are just vanity things, but there's some things that are, for example, really nice seal books that people go crazy about that drop from world bosses. This is another thing that you can get with gold. Lastly, I want to mention that gold is also a currency that you can send through mail, right? If you want to send someone some gold because he carried you in a raid, or you need to pay that person, you can either gift him things from the cash shop, or you can just send them gold in mail. Yeah, so it's a currency that's used for paying people inside the game for a variety of services as well. Feathers of Resurrection, these are used to res up in game in almost all content except PvP. You can res up with them in raids. Resing up with Feathers of Resurrection means you res up on the spot. You can also res up in Lost Ark by going at the beginning of the dungeon or the raid. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to res up on the spot, you need to use either Feathers of Resurrection, or if you have 0 of them, then the game is gonna give you the option to use 10 blue crystal in order to resurrect. The only reliable way to get Feathers of Resurrection is to buy them from the cash shop. They come in bundles and they cost blue crystal. They are a little bit cheaper than you would just use blue crystal to res up instead of a feather. There are of course other ways in game also to get Feathers of Resurrection, but they are very limited ways. There is no place in game that just gives you constantly 10 feathers a day. In the Russian version, with this premium membership that you have here, you do have the option to select to get 5 of these Feathers of Resurrection from the last box. However, nobody in their right minds will choose Feathers of Resurrection from this box. Everything else, kinda everything else is more tempting and more important than a Feathers of Resurrection from this reward. To tell you the truth, there is no content in the game that requires you to use these Feathers of Resurrection, even in a sneaky way, right? As if they would make some content, some raid boss that you die automatically there somehow, and then you need to use these. Otherwise, if you res up at the beginning of the raid, you will never have time as a group to finish it in 20 minutes. I've never seen such a thing in my life in Lost Ark. Feathers of Resurrection are a mega convenience item, so that you personally wouldn't hold the right click of your mouse down and come back to where the boss is. It's not something that group used a feather, that's why they finished it. Otherwise they would have ran out of the 20 minutes and couldn't finish that raid boss. This is my impressions of Feathers of Resurrection. I have 26 of them because honestly I don't think I've ever used one in the Russian version of Lost Ark. Not saying I don't die, I do also, but it's really not that important unless you're really lazy. Next item is the Shilling order. This one is character bound as well. You get 3 of these per day, every day in the morning after reset. Now every class on your account gets them as long as the class is level 30 or above. Now with these you can access everything that is on any Shilling board. Here in the Lutheran Castle, the Shilling board is located here. Depending on the major town you're in, Shilling boards are located in various places, but they look exactly the same and they have exactly the same content regardless of the major town you are accessing them from. On the Shilling command board, which is this thing right here, you can do a variety of things, and there are gonna be more things that you can do here by spending your Shilling orders that we talk about. The Elite Cube, the regular cube, these two towers, the 2 versions of the same Tower of Challenge, and the Platinum Fields. We've already talked about the cube in this video, we've talked about the Platinum Fields in this video. Everything that you do here consumes automatically 1 ticket as you enter the thing. Regardless of you being successful or failing and dying at the first mob, 1 of these Shilling tickets is consumed. Having alts in Lost Ark is a huge asset, as I've mentioned when I talked about gold. Also because of these Shilling tickets, on 1 alt you can just do the crafting bit, because it's really easy to level a crafting profession and get the masteries for it regardless of your item level. So if you just want to craft on 1 alt, with Shilling orders do these dungeons, and then on another alt or on your main do the cube, because your main is the geared one and your alt is the crafter, then that's double the money for you, and that's double the fun. You do waste more time obviously, because you need to spend 6 Shilling tickets per day. They stack up until 10 pieces, and when you're above 10 you cannot get more. So every day you should pay attention to consuming 3 of these tickets, because you know for sure you're gonna get 3 more after every morning reset. Pirate coins are a currency that is very dear to my heart. I've farmed a lot of them in Korea for no particular reason, just to find out where is the best place to get them and how much is much, etc, etc. Now with pirate coins people are split. Some of them see pirate coins as a currency to get affinity items, right? Because you can get an unlimited number of affinity items with pirate coins from 2 separate merchants. One of them is on this island right here, the Blacktooth Island, and the other merchant that sells you affinity items in exchange of pirate coins is a turtle on the turtle item. Now there's those kinds of people that like to spend them, and people who like to come on this island right here and spend, you know, pirate coins on these kinds of accessories, which is not really a bad thing. And then there's people like myself who like to gather pirate coins, because there is quite an unreachable goal, I would call it like that, of acquiring the pirate ship, which is the fastest boat on the sea, but it costs a lot of pirate coins. Right now, I don't know what they're gonna do with that boat for the Russian region. I don't know how pricey they're gonna make it be, because the island from which you get the boat design, this one right here, is not yet available at the moment of this recording. However, when I used to play in Korea, the design was 2 million pirate coins, and 2 million pirate coins would have taken you about 5 years of doing everything about pirate coins every day in order to get pirate. This is another place that you can get, for example, an affinity item with pirate coins. There is another NPC, I believe, on this island that sells you ability stones that you can also buy with pirate coins. This is a very good island right here in order to come and spend your pirate coins if you're the spending type. Me personally, I prefer to keep them, and I also prefer to farm them instead of spending them. Other things that you can do with pirate coins before I tell you how to get them are gonna be here in the Procleon Sea. Eventually, when it comes, you can buy sailors with pirate coins. You can buy food for your ship, food that is used by another sailor if you have it equipped, that makes your ship faster. There's quite some things. There are traveling merchants that you can buy ship upgrading materials with pirate coins, very pricey. You can spend pirate coins if you find these traveling merchants on the sea. I mean, everything about pirate coins is on the sea except one thing. You can buy potions from these traveling merchants with pirate coins. There is an island here in the north, this one right here, that you can spend pirate coins in order to free slaves. Those slaves give you goodies, and on top of those goodies they also give you the island heart with the probability to get it. So there's a lot of ways to spend pirate coins. The most reliable way of getting pirate coins is to farm shipwrecks all over the sea. Shipwrecks are the second largest source of reliable pirate coins in game. The largest source is farming pink jellyfish, which can be found here, but here you cannot access yet, but I'm just saying for later. And also farming those pink jellyfish is a hideous task. Even though they do yield you the most pirate coins, doing shipwrecks is the second most, and that is also very good. The third best reliable way of getting pirate coins is just hunting marine life in Guiana Sea instead of going here and hunting the pink jellyfish. However, again, I'm gonna say it, hunting is very boring and it requires a special kind of player to just go and hunt. The fourth best way is doing scuba diving, and the fifth best way is just fishing, like fishing on fishing spots, but we're already talking about very little pirate coin gains. To be mentioned that pirate coins can be also acquired from affinity. Pirate coins can be also acquired from Epona's daily quests, notably the daily quest on the cruise ship, and also notably this person on the island, I think it was Familia, and also the little girl that plays magic on Paito. She also gives you these. Now with Rohendel patch, or with February patch, whenever this is gonna come, the guild versus guild PvP arena, that one is gonna be an exceptional way of getting pirate coins, because one of the rewards that you have from those tokens, at least in Korea it was like this, is these kinds of things that I showed you from Affinity. A token that when you open it, it gives you 500, 1,000 pirate coins. So that is going to be at that point a fantastic way of getting pirate coins. But until then, you know what to do. Lupone Seals is a currency that is character bound. You get it from doing activities in the game, killing named or elites inside dungeons or chaos dungeons gives you these currencies. Also killing named and elites in the open world gives you Lupone Seals. Lupone Seals is a currency that is character bound. It is a very important currency in the game, and you guys very often ask me on my stream, what do I do with Lupone Seals? Lupone Seals, you get them from killing named or elite mobs inside dungeons, chaos dungeons, or the open world. Also, you get Lupone Seals, quite a lot of them, reliably, from the daily ticket pouches. Here they are, Lupone Seals, and a large amount of them as well. What you do with them is two things. One of them is not good to do, and the other one is. The best thing to spend Lupone Seals on is to go to any Moro priest that is inside a major town. There is all sorts of Moro priests as you level up in those little areas that you quest in. Those only sell gear. Do not buy that gear with Lupone Seals. Do not spend your Lupone Seals as you're leveling up. There's absolutely no need. You keep all of them, you hoard them, and then you spend them in the Moro priest inside the town on these items right here. You can buy as many of these items as you have Lupone Seals. These are affinity items of epic quality. This is an exceptionally good purchase for the price of 3000 Lupone Seals. Affinity is very important in the game. I know that if you're new to Lost Ark, you don't understand why affinity is so important, but later on, when you're gonna get bored of doing your tier 1 raids and you know queuing up for chaos dungeons and thinking that's super cool, you're gonna learn that getting acquainted and having max affinity with some merchants gives you so many nice goodies, so many nice perks that you will want to get eventually. Lost Ark is not a game that's only about coming here and just acrasium all day long. You need to enjoy yourself, and there's so many other nice things and honorable things, interesting things, fun things that you can do in the game. Affinity is one of them, and it's super important. This is my top recommendation for you to buy these. Of course, some classes have nice seal books that you can buy with Lupone Seals. Definitely worth looking if you're playing this particular class that can use this. Definitely worth looking into spending this one time. You just have it, or 1, 2, 3 times. And yeah, you just get the seal, and then after that you gather for affinity items. Also worthy hammers, but not really a good place to really spend your Lupone Seals. Just for worthy hammers, you don't need many of them, and you'd rather just wait with not so good polish effect on your gear instead of spending 500 for these things. Jewelry from Lupone Seals was mandatory when I was playing in Korea, but now they've changed the jewelry so that it wouldn't contribute to your overall item level. It just gives you a little bit of extra magic defense, sure, and it gives you a little bit of extra base stats, primary stats for your character. I get that, it's important, but it's really not a visible difference with the jewelry that you can buy from here. Yeah, there's other places to get jewelry. I would rather use those instead, but they're cheap. So you know, the bottom line is they're cheap. Feel free to buy them. You're not gonna feel a dent in your Lupone Seals just for spending 5k or 10k or 3k here. So yeah, sure, buy them, but this is really important. The last thing I want to mention you can do with Lupone Seals is to reforge your ability stone. You should never ever spend Lupone Seals on reforging your ability stone. It's a complete waste of Lupone Seals. It is such an important currency, and you can reforge your ability stone by simply using shillings that you get from a mob farting. Then you get some shillings. Do you get Lupone Seals from the same thing? You don't. So please don't do that. Just use shillings to reforge this and keep your Lupone Seals for what we've already discussed. Lastly, here in the main currencies is the cashew seed. Cashew seed is something that's just a cute currency, nothing more. You can spend cashew seeds here in the Mokoko village. Some NPCs have some things that they barter in exchange of cashew seeds. This is a currency specific to the Mokoko people, so you get it here in this area by doing these dungeons. Also, some merchants, as you get acquainted to them, affinity again, they give you cashew seeds. On top of that, I believe there's a Epona that also rewards you with cashew seeds, right? So it's a nice cute currency, nothing more than that. There's no need to spend more time on it. There is an accessory here that you can buy with cashew seeds, so definitely go check this merchant out. Instead of spending Lupone Seals, better maybe you just spend some cashew seeds, right? Because there's not much you can do with cashew seeds besides stuff on the Mokoko Island, which is not that important. In the Voyage section we have the Guiana Tokens. This is the Guiana Sea right here that we have access to currently as the game starts, and then later on when Rohendel is going to become available, there's going to be Procleon Sea, and that's gonna bring Procleon tokens as well. With Guiana tokens you can go to any of these major ports right here, Shoeshire as well, and the Mokoko village as well. Here is the boat. You can interact with the boat, that is always there by the way, it's not a random spawn or anything, and you can spend Guiana tokens on getting sailors for the boat which is specific to that area. Lutheran Island has a boat specific to that area, it's the S-Stock. The Mokoko village has the Mokoko boat with the Mokoko sailors, and you can spend Guiana tokens and buy more Mokoko sailors. And it goes the same for every single continent. Bern I don't think has a boat yet, because we're missing an island right here that gives you a quest which unlocks Brahms, the Tune of the Sea, which is the Bern specific boat. But Shoeshire has the Barkstorm as well, and you can buy from the Shoeshire port with Guiana tokens sailors for the Barkstorm and for every single boat that's specific to a continent, to an island. These are the things that you can use Guiana tokens on. It depends on you really which boat you like the most, and which boat you like the most should depend on what activity do you like to do the most on the sea. Because for example here in the Lutheran harbor you do have these sailors, sure, but what do these sailors do? This one, Jacob, gives you diving at level 3. Diving is an activity on the sea. Sure, if you like diving, then you should definitely get the S-Stock and definitely put aside 500 of these in order to get Jacob. Every single island that has a boat has a specific thing that they do, one or two specific things. Here in the Lutheran Island there was Jacob with diving. Here there is a person for fishing. In the Mokoko village there is a Mokoko person for doing shipwrecks. Here there is a person that has the salvage treasure skill at level 3. And it goes the same with other continents, other islands as well, and other boats. Later on when we get the Procleon Sea and we get the Atropos Island, you can go ahead and spend 4000 pirate coins if your item level 420 on a general sailor that you can equip on any boat, which gives you a level 3 perk of whatever you choose on, and you put them on whatever boat you like aesthetically more. Island specific currencies, you get them by doing events on that particular island. This one is on Monte Island, this one is on the island next to Bern, and this one is on the Slime Island, etc, etc. With more sea you get, and more islands, you get more island currencies. Some of them are nice, some of them not so much. These two at the top I would like to highlight from the 4 as being the ones that are, let's say, worth it out of these 4. Not that anyone will ever focus on these currencies. Hey man, you know, need to log into Lost Ark today so I can find farm a false piece. They're just things that you get as you do content on that island. Let's talk now about the special currencies from the top down. Blacktooth's ring, you get it from doing activities on the sea. Not all activities on the sea have the same chance of dropping you this signet of the black teeth. Rescuing sailors on the sea has a chance of giving you that. Rescuing women sailors from the flotsam has a higher chance of giving you these. There is literally no chance, I have never seen one of these drop from doing a shipwreck, for example. So depending on what things you do on the sea, or depending on what exactly do you need these for, you might want to farm them, and you might want to look for those ladies that are stranded on the sea. They have the same icon as a normal stranded man, only they are black. They have a high chance of giving you these tokens, yeah. Restless Souls is another sea and water content related currency. Pretty important one if you're into the ghost ship, for example. If you like the ghost ship and you would like to have it, then these Restless Souls can be exchanged with Frank, which is on the Starlight Island right here at the top of the Starlight building, and there's a bunch of sailors for the ghost ship specifically, very nice sailors that he sells. Also another notable mention from Frank with the souls is the song, the Starlight song. That is also an important song in the grand scheme of things, but these are the only two things that are, let's say, very notable there. He sells you also an accessory for the price of some souls, but again, this business with accessories right now in the current version of Lost Ark from these currencies is just very debatable. You get Restless Souls by doing sea and water content activities, of course. You also get Restless Souls from there is a box in the cash shop that gives you a choice of one of all of these currencies depending on which one you want. And to be mentioned that there is also an NPC in here, this one right here, which gives you a bunch of Restless Souls. But sea and water content, doing the activities there, is the bread and butter for the Ancient Souls. Reactor PT7 is a currency that you exchange with Sasha here in Stern, Argentine, and she gives you some nice seal books. I forgot for which class was it. Was it for Warlord or for Blaster? You should definitely go visit her. Maybe you have finished the quests with her so that she would have her shop available to show you. There is the seal book, and if memory is not playing tricks on me, there is also a mount, like was it a hoverboard mount? There is also a combat good, I think rocket boots. Maybe am I confusing hoverboard mount with rocket boots as a combat item? But she gives you some nice thing. This currency, you get it again from sea and water activities, notably and most frequently you get it from fishing. Just regularly, just going with your boat over the fishing spots and fishing. Of course, if you're wearing a level 1 white sailor on your boat and you're trying to do fishing or any other sea and water activities, you're not gonna get anything from them. Level 3, 4 is something that you should aim for in terms of sailors to start your journey off on the sea and start getting any of these things. The Ancient Magic Stone is something that can be exchanged with Igor, which is the merchant here on the cruise ship island. Now Igor sells you a bunch of really nice things, tickets for the Chaos Dungeon in case you didn't get a normal ticket from the normal dungeons, from the normal runs I mean. A couple of sailors, general ones, and also one very nice sailor for the Barkstorm boat. This is super cool. Some hammers, some consumables which you shouldn't buy. Sail gimmick pattern, you shouldn't buy this either unless you're just bathing in these ancient magic stones, which you're never gonna be probably. Special materials here, a masterpiece, one work of art that you can exchange on Sunflower Island for those of you who are collectionists. A summoner seal book, which is a very nice summoner seal book by the way if you play a specialty critical build. And again, another debatable necklace. The items that are worth mentioning here is the summoner skill book, which is obviously important, the masterpiece, and then the sailor in the event ticket. How you get these ancient magic stones? Again, from sea and water content most reliably. There is a box again in the cash shop as I've just mentioned. Shipwrecks give you the most of this, and there is also an Epona on the Chicken Island on Forpe, which comes I believe once a month. That gives you 3 of these. You finish it once normally and then you can just instantly redo this Epona for these extra magic stones. PvP tokens are a currency that you get from any of the 3 instanced arenas in Lost Ark. You can exchange them for gear. This is the tier 1 gear, this is the tier 2 gear, and then in the resource tab you have ability stones, which is also a nice thing to buy. If you're doing PvP a lot, then you're gonna be able to have a lot of chances to get like good ability stones, especially later on. This seal book is something nice, something that sells on the broker, something that some people use as a second seal book. Other than these so far, I would like to mention one more thing, and it is the upgrading mats. These upgrading mats from PvP, you also spend PvP tokens for. These are for tier 1, and these right here are for tier 2. There is also a playing card, which is a nice card, but it's really not that important, and it costs a lot of PvP tokens, so not really a good investment. Worthy hammers and seal tools, I don't know. Sure, I guess it's more worth it to buy worthy hammers with PvP tokens than it is with Lupone Seals, right? But other than that, this is everything from PvP. In the token section, we have Debris and Fragments of Labyrinth, which are both from the Labyrinth. These can be exchanged with a merchant that is right in front of the labyrinth. These debris you get inside, and also the fragments as well. Debris, there is also a weekly Epona that gives you a bunch of these debris. Yeah, a pretty important currency, as you can get some acrasium out of it as well. The only notable thing from this one. And finally, platinum coins. You can acquire them from successfully completing Platinum Fields dungeon, and then going here to the merchant. This is the place where you can just exchange platinum coins. You have a bunch of potions. Some people got the whole math of how many platinum fields do you need to do in order to be able to raid that day with the potions that you get from here, how much gold you're saving, and it's up to you really. If you want the pots, get the pots. If you want the goddamn mount, get the mount because it looks cool. If you have went to life gear full on ham, and this is the gear that you need to polish now to level 4 and 5, then platinum coins are also used to get these materials that you will need in polishing. And this was everything that I wanted to talk about in this currency video. I hope I was thorough enough to go through kinda all of them and at least give you a basic overview on some and a very in-depth overview on the other. I hope you found this useful. Give it a thumbs up if you found this useful. I am gonna see you really soon, guys, in my next video. Until then, stay safe, lots of love. Please subscribe to my channel, and see you really soon.